How long does a presenter get to capture a listener's attention before the listener starts to mentally tune out?
7 seconds.
That's programmer and radio consultant Tracy Johnson. I spoke to him after a session he presented here at the 27th Annual Morning Show Boot Camp in Chicago. Find out why he's so certain you've only got 7 seconds to grab them soon. Hi, I'm Graham Mack. Let's find out more about this conference from the man who put the whole thing together, Don Anthony.
Good to see you again, Graham.
It's good to
You're
see
looking
you
well.
too.
You never change.
Why should somebody come to Morning Show Boot Camp?
To get better. I mean, and also to be inspired. I've always used the 3I method: information, interaction, and inspiration, because people, at least on the talent side, are inspired by other talent. They get around other people. They have something they can relate to. People who do mornings know what it's like to be a little woozy at 4 o'clock, 4 in the afternoon. So it's a little bit different for people like that because, they can relate to everybody.
WPLJ's Todd Pettengill.
Yes, sir.
You were on a panel just then, Radio's Round Table. They were all programmers. What were you doing there?
I have no idea. I said this is either the worst idea in the history of this boot camp or the best. And I'll let people decide. I have no idea.
This your first Morning Show Boot Camp?
It is.
What do you make of it?
I love it. It was great to see a lot of old friends, made some new friends. I tell you that radio is still very much alive when you come to one of these things and you see the passion.
Because I've got to say, you didn't just show up Mr. Showbiz just for your session. You were here at the ladies' session. You were here for Battle of the Bits.
No, I love it. I mean, if you're a radio fan, how can you not love it? Because there's a lot of great information. And, hopefully nobody ever gets too successful or too big to think they can't learn. Because that, to me, is the mistake, and that's when you go backwards.
So have you even picked up stuff to take back?
I have. I got a phone full of notes that I'll be bringing back. I swear I will show to you. I wrote bits down. I was listening to people. I made notes from different speeches. Yeah, I thought it was fantastic.
And how are things now on WPLJ since Scott Shannon left?
We're doing fine. Scott and I are friendly. He's terrific.
You still talk?
We do occasionally. I mean, we don't talk every day, but we never talked every day. We probably talk about the same as when we worked together for 22 years. But no, it's great. He's doing great, we're doing great, and the globe continues to spin.
I'm with broadcasting legend BJ Shea. How long have you been in Seattle now?
15 years.
Wow.
And Graham, when I came to this convention, it's 27 years old, really for the first almost 12 years of it, I was always out of a job every other year. That was the running joke. It's like, BJ, are you still? Oh, no, you're out of a job. Every other year I'd have a job, and then I'd be out of a job. They still ask me, they still figure, so you working? And it's been 15 years that I've actually been in the same place.
In that session, you are an inspiration, and you continue to be for a lot of people. No, but when you told your story, you're so open with your story and your life story, and how it was very, very tough for you. If someone's listening to this and they are struggling in their career, what advice would you give them?
I always want to find people who are nice. I've always said that if somebody tells you not to do something artistic and not to pursue your artistic dreams, I say, those people, why are you? You'll know quicker than anybody if it's not right for you. You'll get bored. You'll stop. We all did that. I was going to be an astronaut, and then they said, oh, well, you have to actually go in space. Oh, I don't want to do that. I wanted to be a baseball player. Well, you're going to have to go to the gym. Well, I don't want to do it. I will crush my own dreams quicker than anybody needs to. So I've never understood if somebody comes up to you and they go, what I want to do is I want to do what you do, or I want to be this. And I've never understood the person go, don't do it, get out of there. I avoid those people. If somebody tells you not to do your artistic dream, don't listen to what they have to say, because anybody who's worth their salt, they'll go, dude, I hope it's awesome, because it's so much fun, and you do what you love to do. If you can make a little bit of a living or something, awesome. That's what I say to everybody. Who am I to tell somebody that their dream isn't going to come true? I don't know. But I don't listen to anybody that says dreams don't come true. I get you have to be a realist, but you'll figure that out yourself. It's like, I don't need to tell you what you'll figure out. As a matter of fact, it's rather arrogant for me to go, oh yeah, you don't want to do that. How do I know? I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. I'm lucky I can feed myself properly in the morning, And what's the point of being a dream crusher? The biggest sadness is if somebody really would have been good at something and someone discouraged them out of that. That's sad. And I think that people can figure out if it's not right. They need support to know when it is right. People did that for me. I asked. I thought, I think I need to leave this business. I don't think I'm that good. But I thought, I'm going to ask professionals.
So who did you ask?
I asked Tom Leykis, who a very, very successful talk show host here in the States, very controversial, massively intelligent, but would say a lot of inappropriate things to as far as the feminine community was concerned. But he was a brilliant broadcaster. So I thought, all right, he's not going to pull any punches. And I went up to him and I said, hey, Tom, look, you need to tell me I'm not doing well. Should I get out of this business? And he just looked at me and said, let me tell you something, BJ. The only mistake you've ever made in your career is you were an idiot before you got ratings. What you have to do is get ratings, then be an idiot, because then you're safe. Because that's the only thing you've done wrong. You're an idiot. Idiots have a place in our business. You just have to get ratings first.
We are the Gene and Julie Show. I'm Gene, she's Julie.
Hey there, we're at WRAL in Raleigh.
How's it going?
Good, we're really grateful. We've been nominated for a Marconi Award this year, so thank you, NAB.
Fantastic. Now, the unusual thing that isn't unusual to you at all is that you're a married couple.
We're married and we work together.
So what happened first, the relationship or the show?
It kind of happened simultaneously. Julie threw herself at me, and I received that. And we became a couple as we were becoming a show. It all happened at the same time.
We grew up in Seattle, loved Seattle radio. I was a traffic reporter, and Gene was on 2 different stations, one of which I was his traffic reporter, but we were working from different cities, so we never met in person. So he came to visit, we met in person, we said, let's do a morning show together, that'd be really fun. So his program director at the time was Eric Logan, who now runs Oprah's Harpo Productions. He's president of Harpo. He's amazing. He was the PD at Young Country in Seattle. He said, all right, you guys, I'll let you do an air shift from midnight till 3. That way we could make an air check, but we couldn't hurt the radio station. And while we were putting it all together, we realized we also had chemistry, and we weren't really quite sure, is this the stupidest thing we've ever thought of, or is this going to be a runaway fun career? And it's worked.
So one of the first dates I took her on was to meet my therapist. To see what my therapist thought of me running away with this woman who threw herself at me, and knowing nothing about her, moving away to another city where I didn't know anybody, and we would have to pool all of our resources and live together. Like, we would have to start basically at a married couple.
Yeah.
We had to live together, we had to share the money, we had to become everything at once.
And run a business together, which we didn't know how to do yet because we never worked together before. So it's really crazy. And yes, we really did go to his therapist, and she was awesome.
Or we had to choose door number 2, which was not to work together.
No.
And the therapist said, you guys are either all or nothing. If you're going to work together, there's no way you're not going to be romantic. So you're going to need to make a choice. So we decided if we're going to put all of our eggs into one basket, instead of being afraid of what might happen to the eggs, we became excited about ways we could reinforce the basket. So then we wouldn't worry.
It's been really fun. We've been lucky. I mean, certainly we have fights. Ask our producer, Casey. We fight during the show all the time. And we're
Does that make it onto the air?
We need to do a better job of that, actually. I think that would be more
You
entertaining.
need to fight more on the air. Seriously?
We actually had 2 weird things happen in our career. One program director asked us if we would go through a divorce because it would be good for the fall book. I kid you not. Second weird thing, in one of our employment contracts, our company put in a divorce clause on what would happen to our contract if we got a divorce.
So you were forced, it was a forced marriage by then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So we definitely worked it out.
You ever use that when you were fighting? You know, if it wasn't for this clause.
I don't know. Somehow we've managed to work it out. So I think at this point we're in good shape. We've been together since 1995. So we're into our 20th year as broadcasters together.
Great to talk to you. Thanks for talking to me. Continued success with the marriage and the show.
Thank you, Graham.
And good luck on the award.
Thank you. And hopefully we'll have you on our show again soon talking about something fun in the UK.
Thank you.
Thanks, Graham.
The highlight of this year's Morning Show Boot Camp was Jonathan Brandmeier.
It was.
Nationally syndicated
Wow.
personality,
That
Jonathan
seems
Brandmeier. Thank you so much. It's an honor to meet you. I got to say, I'm a fan. I listen to your podcast every day. You are in my hand and on demand.
Yeah, in your hand and on demand. That's nice to hear, I think.
I've listened to you streaming for years. I've got to say, you've never sounded better than right now.
That's interesting.
Never sounded better.
Wow,
You've
thank
done
you.
some good stuff. I
Yeah.
love the bit where you had the two old guys that were claiming to be the guys that kissed the nurse in Times Square after the Second World War.
Sure,
And there was another piece you did with
Yeah.
some kids with bodily functions and stuff. And I don't know if
Yeah.
you remember all these bits.
Yeah, I don't.
But right now, this show is. I said to my wife, I said, I've got this new podcast. It's Jonathan Brandmeier. He's back on in Chicago. And I said, she said, what's he like? I said, he's on fire. What is
That
the difference?
is so interesting to
It's
you to
true.
say. You've just
It's
made
true.
my day.
But
You've
it
just
is-
made my
Johnny,
day.
I listen to you before I go
Because
on
I
the air
feel
every
that I feel in my heart. I go like, this is just. I think sometimes you just don't care anymore. I'm just so jacked up.
What is it? Why is this show? Why are you, after all these years, everything
don't know.
you've been through? Why is this show sounding so good?
I
What is it? What's the secret?
I really don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to figure this out myself now, Dr. Graham. Maybe it's because I'm, syndicated, or I know that, I'm getting letters from people and I say I'm listening to you in Guam or Alaska, and I'm thinking, wow, because to me that's what it's all about. The fact that these people are hearing it and they're touched by it, and the lady goes, I'm driving at midnight in Vegas and don't leave because I just love having you in my car. I'm driving my Kia. She said this, and I just love having you. So maybe that's it, Graham. I think maybe that's it.
Something I was worried about when you went national is how you're going to do it, because you are a Chicago personality.
Yeah, they always thought that, yeah.
But this show is still very Chicago. I mean, you did a big piece when the Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup.
Well, it is, the Stanley Cup. It's a national thing, so it's not too much. I'm not going to go on and talk about the Cubs every day, but I think I know when we're going too far, Chicago, or too far. I know.
So it is measured then. It isn't like you're
I'm
not
thinking
just,
about it. I think about it. I don't want to push. Listen, you're listening in Dallas or Billings, Montana, or especially like the Cardinals fan listening in St. Louis to me. They don't give a rat's ass about the Cubs, or you know what I mean, or the Chicago Bears. So I'm just well aware. When it's a national show, a national sporting event, who doesn't care? Everybody cares, one way or the other.
Now, I've noticed from listening to you, and I don't know if anyone else would say this, but what I hear enthusiasm, and above all, I hear love. I hear a love of life that comes from Jonathan Brandmeier. Where does that come from?
My mother. When my mother heard me coming out of the radio on WGN radio here in Chicago, and she said, she's in her 5th final stage of Alzheimer's disease. You have to understand, this is the last 3 weeks of her life. And she's driving to a doctor's appointment, and my brother says to her, Mom, this is Johnny coming out of the radio. And she doesn't respond. Mom, this is Johnny. And my mom snapped. It's not Johnny. He's not having fun. This is not John. And Michael told me the story. I said, she's that 1,000% right. Who would know their son better than my mother all those years? She knows by my tone that I'm faking it. I'm not having fun. And when I saw her, we watched her pass away in the room, and it was, anyone going through this Alzheimer's, it's the most horrible thing you will ever go through in your entire life, to watch your mother disappear. But when she said, that's what she left me with. God bless you, Hanky. You left me with that. And so there's my love of life. That's where that comes from. And if you are really something that you pick up on this stuff, yeah, you're really something. You have a really intuition. It's very interesting.
What makes me wonder is, though, when you came through, when you really broke through on the loop, that was at a time when shock was starting to get there. Howard Stern was at DC 101, or probably just at WNBC at that stage.
Yeah.
Greaseman was a bit edgy. It was starting to get. Were you ever tempted to take it that way because that was the trend?
Never. Impossible. I would never do it. I would never. And I even talked to Stern about this. Stern would say to me, he'd say, Johnny B on a leash, Johnny B's my bitch, Johnny B's this. And I just told him, I just thought that was just entertaining, but I would never listen to it. People would tell me he said it. I would never. I have one thing, and anyone that knows me, who's ever worked with me, knows one thing. I focus. I go to work, I focus. Focus. I say, find the story, focus, and follow up. Just go. Go to work hard, play hard. And I would never, it wouldn't be, people would know that's not me. I'll tell you something right now, man. We're going to get a girl in here, we're going to smell her ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not doing that, because that's just, first of all, I have my mother in the back of my head. 6 kids, Catholic upbringing, 12 years of Catholic school. I have my mother, you're not smelling a woman's ass. You know what I mean? It's like, I couldn't do it. It's not true to me. Not true to me.
Do you still do the music?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But the band hasn't played in a while, but I still write music, play music, and we'll probably get the band up again for sure. Yeah, I love doing it.
Jonathan Brandmeier, if we want to listen to you, how do we do it? Anywhere in the world?
BrandmeierShow.com, BrandMeier.com, or as John Cleese says, Jonathan Brandmeier, 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 BrandmeierShow.com, and then just give us your email. We'll put the podcast right in there, in your email every day. and you just click it and it's there. Free, doesn't cost anything, and it's no commercials, no interruptions. Boom, you got it. Appreciate it, man. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Continued success.
You're the man. You're the man. What a pleasure.
So back to Tracy Johnson now, who says that presenters only get 7 seconds to engage with the listener before the listener starts to mentally tune out. This is based on research he's been involved with, and I asked him to tell us more about it.
It's based on about 5 years of intense research projects that my company conducted along with Strategic Radio Solutions, who are our partners in this project, that we're analyzing listeners' moment-by-moment response to personality-based content. The average adult attention span is 8 seconds. They have 8 seconds of tolerance. So if we don't get into that brain space and capture their attention in the first 7 seconds, it's not that they physically tune out, but they mentally tune out. And once they mentally tune out, it's much harder to regain that attention.
Most radio stations, those 7 seconds are spent with the dial position, the station ID, the time, the back announcement. Are most radio stations doing it wrong?
Yes.
Tracy Johnson. Well, that's it from Morning Show Boot Camp 2015 in Chicago. I'm Graham Mack. I hope I've managed to keep your attention for longer than 7 seconds. If you want to find out more about me, you can do that at macmedia.co.uk.